Hey guys, we're going to finish workbook page 14 and start workbook page 15 of your Algebra Nation workbook. Please watch the video and answer the questions in your workbook with a pencil. Hey, how about that? There's been a football sighting in Miami. The Dolphins are 3-0. Nice if you're a Dolphins fan. If you're a Bucks fan, 0-3. Maybe you need to take some lessons from the Dolphins.
Venn diagrams part 2. If you watched part 1, you noticed that we were putting items, elements, into Venn diagrams. Now, we're going to be given Venn diagrams and taking items, elements, numbers, letters out to tally results. For example, given this problem, the following data was collected concerning 245 students and their scheduling conflicts. They had a conflict with either gym class or lunch. So the way that you would read this is you have the circle of gym class, the circle of lunch, and that's the number of students that would be tallying up, and then the 47 is what both of these have in common, is the idea. So let's answer the 4 questions below with this Venn diagram. First question asks, how many students had a conflict with gym class? What are we looking at? We're looking at the entire circle of gym class here. This would constitute everyone that had a conflict with gym. In this case, that would be 123 plus 47, giving us a total of 170 students having a conflict with gym class. Next up, how many students had a conflict with lunch? So now we're going to look at the entire circle of lunch. This would be all the students had a conflict in their schedule because of lunch. Meaning we're going to go ahead and add 47 and 75. Here we have 47 plus 75. Add that together, and hey, you need a calculator. Go ahead and add them together, and you'll get 122 students had a conflict because of lunch. Next, how many students only had a conflict with just one of their classes? So they want to know how many students had a conflict with just one, either just gym or just lunch. So in this case, we're looking at just gym and just lunch is the idea, just with one of their classes. In this case, that would be 123 plus 75, which will give you 198 students. And in the last question, how many students had a conflict? Meaning that we would total up all the numbers in this Venn diagram that had a conflict with gym or lunch, or both. So that means we'd be adding all 3 of these together, but in some cases, remember, look at the actual question itself. The following data was collected concerning 245 students. If you notice, all the numbers are inside. If you actually add 123 plus 47 plus 75, you're going to get 245. So we have 245 total. Do be careful, though. That will not always work, because if there is something on the outside, meaning that they don't have a conflict with gym or lunch, you cannot consider that in this case. That means they did not have a conflict with either gym or lunch class. Kind of like this next example, which I want you to actually try.
Before you go to the next example, let's take a brain break. Ouch. I think that one's going to leave a mark in the morning.
We're going to be the test soon. I want you to try this one in just a second. Here, we have 3 circles: soccer, baseball, and football. We asked a number of students, so they didn't tell you how many this time, like the last question. Which of the following sports they liked? Soccer, baseball, football. And what does this number outside mean? This is what I was trying to get at. This number outside means that they didn't like either of these sports. This one is the not case between soccer, baseball, and football. When I say not, there's football. When I say not, I mean, of course, we're going to be discussing unions, intersections, and complements. Do you remember that? Unions, put them together. Intersection, what's in common? Complement, what is not the case. So keep that in mind. But again, I want you to try these first 2 questions. I want you to try it for these first two questions. We have 4, but these first 2 is what I want you to try. How many students belong to each set? Soccer, union, baseball, soccer, union, baseball, but the complement of that. So go ahead, pause the video, reminding you right now to do that, and give this a try. Pause now. Did you try them? Let's find out. How many students belong to each set? Soccer, union, baseball. This means take the circle containing soccer and baseball and put it all together. Meaning we're going to add them all. We want the union between soccer and baseball. In this case, we have soccer and baseball. So what are all the numbers for soccer and baseball for all these different elements inside? We're going to have 10, 8, 7, 3, 5, and 12 are all inside the circles of soccer and baseball, meaning soccer, union, baseball. 10 plus 7 plus 5 plus 8 plus 3 plus 12. Again, soccer, union, baseball. Add them all together. So let's go ahead and put that on screen. 10 plus 7 plus 5 plus 8 plus 3 plus 12. You have to break out that calculator. Otherwise, you'll get a total of 45. This next question, though, is soccer, union, baseball again, but we want everything that is not in those 2 circles now. So if you look, you had soccer, union, baseball, but now we want everything that's not in those 2 circles. So what is not in the circles of soccer and baseball? It would be the number 9, football, and the number 4. So here we have 9 plus 4, which equals 13. So that's everything not in the union of soccer and baseball. Let's do 2 more, though. How about soccer? What is this symbol? A U means union. An upside down U means intersection. What do they have in common? What is the intersection of soccer and baseball? So looking at soccer and baseball once again, what do they have in common? So looking at the circle of soccer, the circle of baseball, they have in common the number 7 and 3. Don't worry about football, it's not in the question. I'm looking at the 2 circles of soccer and baseball, and they have 7 and a 3 in common. 7 plus 3 will give you 10. One more. Football intersect baseball, but then we want the complement of that. Remember, you work what's inside of parentheses first. What is the intersection of football and baseball? So let's look at football and baseball. Looking at football and baseball, looks like they have 3 and 12 in common. Those are what overlap between football and baseball. 3 and 12 would be the intersection. So if they wanted football intersect baseball, it would just be 3 plus 12, which is 15. But they want the complement. They want what's not in the intersection of football and baseball. So we're going to take every number that's not 3 and 12, specifically these 2 numbers. So we have 10, 7, 5, 8, 9, and 4. Here we go. We have got 10 plus 7 plus 5 plus 8 plus 9 plus 4. You don't see it, now you do. No, you didn't, but now you do. I'm covering it up, now I'm not. Here we go. So here we go. Here we go. 10 plus 7 is 17. 17 plus 5 is 22. 22 plus 8 is 30. 30 plus 9 is 39. 39 plus 4 is 43. But hey, you get a calculator. So if you didn't want to do that, calculate it in your calculator. So we've got 2 circles, 3 circles for Venn diagrams. And now I think it's about that time.
I think it's about time for you to show your work from your Algebra Nation workbook to your crazy math teacher.